Hi, today I'm going to show you how you can use Copilot to make your Monday mornings at work more efficient. The challenges that I have is every Monday morning, I don't know where I am in terms of projects, tasks, activities. I end up spending the first hour and a half just trying to get myself ready, looking at the emails, looking at the chats in Teams, trying to work out what did Bob say about this project? What am I meant to be doing about this meeting? What emails do I need to respond to urgently? So if you resonate with those type of challenges whereby your inbox is overflowing, you got back-to-back meetings, still trying to figure out what you forgot to finish at the end of last week, what if in 15 minutes you could have your calendar up to speed, your inbox triaged, your key tasks organized, and your plan for the week already drafted? Wouldn't it be good if you could get to a place where all that is ready in 15 minutes rather than in 1.5 to 2 hours, which is what it's currently taking me? And I'd imagine these are kind of the challenges that hopefully you can resonate with in your workplace. So I'm going to show you the exact Copilot prompts to use that help automate my Monday planning routine. No plugins, no coding, just good old Microsoft 365 and AI working for you. And if you want to follow along and copy this, I've created a free download called a Monday AI Planning Playbook. It's at the bottom with the comments, so just feel free to copy it and use it accordingly. So that's great. So as I say, before I go into it, let me just tell you, as I said earlier on, Mondays were challenging. Just trying to make sense of the week, easily 1.5 to 2 hours. I'd sit there, and before I've actually done anything, it's 10:15. My stomach's already rumbling. Time for my morning snack. It's 10:15. Started work at 9. Not done anything yet. And that adds to stress, that adds to anxiety because you feel you've not really yet started. I've just been playing catch up. And imagine if you're a consultant or a project manager or anyone who has multiple priorities, you can't afford to start your week in this chaos mode. So the idea is that Copilot will help you plan your week ahead in just 10 to 15 minutes rather than in 1 hour and a half. So let's start with the first thing I want to do, prioritizing your calendar, right? So what does a week look like? So in just a simple prompt, obscurity will transform to clarity. So let's have a look at my screen. First, let's just go over here. I'm going to go to Outlook because everyone starts the morning in your Outlook, right? That's kind of the first place we tend to go. I'm in Outlook, so I'm in Outlook here, my calendar. So the first thing I do is I'll open up Outlook and use Copilot to triage my weekly meetings. So all I simply do is a simple prompt I'm going to ask Copilot is summarize my meetings for this week. Highlight high priority ones and flag any that may need prepping, I need to prep for. So it does that, I click away, it's searching through my meetings for the week and have a look here. So I've got a Contoso sync tomorrow, 2 till 2:30. No agenda or prep material were attached. Oh gosh, I better do that then. Prep needed? Yes, there were updates or decisions pending. Contoso kickoff meeting on Tuesday, the invitees. You can see how it's given me not only the meetings, the dates, who the organizer is, who the invitees are, but also do I need to prioritize it? Yes, due to the broad audience for the Contoso kickoff. Prep needed? Yes, ensure any talking points, slides, announcements are ready. So for the 3 meetings that it's listed, and again, just obviously there'll probably be more in your case, and there are more in my case. This is just a demo to show you what it can do. But it's called out those 3 meetings. It's given out me the date, the organizer, invitees. In this particular one, no one has actually shared the meeting, so no one has accepted it. So those type of things are important, right? But you can even go that step further. So look what you've got here. Would you like help in drafting, prepare notes or materials for any of these meetings? So I could choose the Matalan one, the Contoso sync, or any of the other ones. But you can see how you can use Copilot to help you prepare for those meetings. So firstly, it's done the main thing which I wanted it to do, which is highlight what meetings I have this week and what actions, if any, do I need to do against those meetings. So it's given me that with that one prompt. But you can dive in a bit more deeper as well and use those suggestive prompts. So that's the great thing with Copilot. It will always give you follow-up prompts that it thinks you should act on based on the first prompt, based on what it's given you. So it really enhancing that experience for you. But again, this is my calendar prioritized, which was my first task. And then of course, as I said, I can go in a bit deeper and use some of these like draft notes for the Contoso kickoff meeting. Help me prepare for the Contoso sync meeting. Let's just try that one. And then I click run. And then again, if there were some notes associated, documents, it will find that and use that. So you can see suggested prep points even, I beg your pardon. The welcome message, it's giving me suggestions as to how I should lay out that meeting, giving me pointers, teams and roles, which sections to focus on within the presentation. So all that is done quite quickly, right? And that's the great thing about it. So again, I've dived in a bit deeper than I wanted to. But that's the beauty of AI. You are empowered to do these things. But remember, my first ask was, can you prioritize my calendar? Can you list the priority items against the calendar, against the meetings I've got and things that I need to do? And it's done that with that simple prompt. And that's the great thing about it. That's the first thing. That's my calendar prioritized. The next thing I need to do is my inbox. Like we've all been there, right? Monday morning, you've got loads of unread messages and the challenges. Which one should I start with first? Before Copilot, I used to just simply say, the most recent one is the one I'll read. And then so that's a strategy I took on. And then I tried a strategy of saying the oldest one. The older the email, the one I should read first, right? Because they emailed me really long ago. So if it was an email that was sent 5 days ago that I didn't respond to, and an email that was sent an hour ago, in theory, I should open the email from 5 days ago and act on that one, right? But suppose that email from 5 days ago is low priority and the email just half an hour ago is high priority. Wouldn't it make sense for AI to help you prioritize your emails so you can be more efficient and act on the ones that need a response today versus ones that are inquisitive, FYI, or need a response in a week or so, right? Using Copilot to triage your inbox, scan through those emails for you and help and prioritize them is exactly what helps in this scenario. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's jump into my Outlook. So I'm in Outlook now. So I'll go into my inbox. You can see I've got a whole bunch of emails, some read, some unread. But what I'm going to simply do is this one prompt. And here we go. So I go into Copilot. I could go either Copilot over there. Actually, no, that's for drafting an email. To sort out my inbox, I'll go to Copilot over here. And what do we say? I'll just paste it there to make things quicker. Summarize and read emails from the last 3 days. Prioritize by importance and suggest 3 that need immediate response. So really insightful prompt. Let's see what Copilot will bring out for me. So high priority ones, requires immediate response. You can see there, informational, no immediate action required. So it's already, you can see how it nicely categorizes the emails based on what needs an immediate response, brings it to the top of the list. And that's from my colleague Lee, detailed information about the pricing for those MS licenses. And you can see an informational one from another colleague for another project. So I actually don't need to do anything in this informational email. But in the high priority one, suppose I need to get a draft prepared for me. You can see how Copilot already is suggesting actions to take. Would you like help drafting a response to Lee Gu's email? So about MS Places licenses. So I'm just going to say, I'll just use that. Yes, draft a response to Lee Gu, please. And then it'll go ahead. So I've dug in a bit deeper, but you can see how if I had 50 high priorities, it would have listed them and I would have categorized them based on priority, based on the content of the email, etc. You can see that I've got the response there. Pricing per license. Obviously, I still need to type in the numbers, but you can see how I can easily copy and paste this into Outlook, put some context against the pricing for the license, and that's the email gone. So you can see how in that simple prompt of summarize unread emails, and it did that. It gave me a high priority one. It gave me a low priority one. If there were more high priority and low priority ones, it would have listed them for sure. And again, that's just a game changer. That's an absolute game changer, in my opinion. Hopefully in yours too, now that you've seen it. So that's my inbox triaged. That's my calendar sorted. So what about the week ahead now? So now that I've done that, what's the week going to be looking like? So in the past, by the time I'm trying to plan my week ahead, it's almost lunchtime. Well, not quite, but it feels like it's lunchtime. I'm like, right, so what am I going to do now? So wouldn't it be nice if Copilot can help you plan your week based on what it's discovered, right? So again, you can do just that. So I'm going to jump in and show you another prompt. I'll go into Copilot in Outlook and I will simply say, copy this simple prompt, which again, as I said, will be available for you guys to use as well. Copy and paste. One of my favorite technological features, copy and paste. I feel copy and paste will never leave technology. Sorry, that was a side note. I tend to do that sometimes. Right, focus. Right, so now, look, you see I've got the prompt there. Now that you've got your priorities, meetings, and tasks, let's ask Copilot to generate a simple, clear weekly plan. Yes, I need that. Please, Copilot, organize my week, please. So we do just that and wait a few minutes. You don't even have time to get a coffee. That's the thing. By the time you stand up to get your coffee, oh, it's already come back and sorted it. So it says I've got 3 meetings this week on these particular days and times. Strategic priorities. From your documents, these are the key focus areas for the week, right? People first, design framework expansion, retail innovation, etc. And then it gives me a weekly plan. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, key actions, finalize the agenda for the meeting, Contoso sync. On Thursday, host the sync call, follow up and action items, and so on. And not only does it give me that high level plan, but I can go a bit further. I can copy that plan into a calendar format or into a document. But you can see how I've already feel a bit more comfortable. I know where I am. I know what my week looks like. Wednesday, progress on projects, etc. So it gives me the day, the focus area, and the key actions to follow up. I could go that step further, draft an email to the team about the plan. So suppose, if you're a team member, you want your other team guys to know what's happening this week. Look at that. I could just draft that email. Let's just do that. I didn't want to really plan to show this, but you know what? Why not? Weekly plan. So look, hi team, hope you had a restful weekend. As the week kicks off, I wanted to share a simple, clear plan to help us stay aligned. Look at that. Copy and paste that into Outlook. Everyone's on the same page for the week. So I hope you really enjoyed what you've seen in terms of how I've used M365 Copilot to organize my week so that I can start the week on the front foot. I don't start the week in catch-up mode, in trying to stay afloat mode, trying to work out what happened last week, what am I supposed to be prioritizing, who am I supposed to be calling to begin with. With Copilot, it can go through your calendars and go through your Outlook and and then with that information, it can then give you a well-structured, informed plan so that you know what you need to tackle this week, then the week ahead. And that offers a lot more productivity, well-being, all those other soft skills are enhanced because you're in a better place, you're more comfortable, and you're ready to kickstart the week. So I hope you enjoyed the video this week. So what I'm going to be doing next week is I'm going to show you how to use Copilot to write client-ready documents. So if you're in a role where you need to create reports, proposals, project recaps, that sort of thing. So if that's your bag, please like and subscribe, and that's what I'll be diving into next week. But also add, if you can also, in the comments below, tell me what your biggest Monday challenge is, right? What's the one thing that really impacts your week in a negative way because you need to overcome it before you can get going? I really want to know what that is, because I'm going to try and show you how Copilot can address that challenge, right? Allow you to start the week empowered and ready to go. So yeah, look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and see you next time. Bye for now, guys.